Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. This is the Western Wilds. This is a new-ish mod map out by Alien Jim. It's 136.64 megabytes to download. I realise I am late to the party. I'm just going to explain why. I'm explaining, not complaining. You may want to skip ahead a minute or so if you're not interested in the why, so that's entirely up to you. But just to say that, on Thursday I completely put my back out and I've been laid up flat on my back for the last 4 days. This morning I've had to go down to see my local doctor and I'm getting some stronger painkillers and possibly having to have some physio on my back, so I haven't been able to do any recording or anything at all. I'm sitting here at the moment in quite a lot of pain, so I'm going to try and get through it. I know obviously I'm going to try and get through it as quickly as possible. As for map tours, mod reviews and let's plays moving forward, they may be sporadic. It's all going to depend on the pain in my back and how long I can sit for. So that's the reason why. If you want to stick with me for the map tour, that's absolutely fantastic. Be happy to have you along. So we've got a pick up here just to our right. We're going to talk about slot counts in just a moment. There are no contracts available on this map because this map is like No Man's Land but better. No Man's Land was good, but this is better. The map looks like this. The parcels of land are in sections. I'm on New Farmer, I'm on Normal Economy, and on New Farmer we start with this plot here, Field 3. I say Field 3, Plot 3. And the plots, I say all cost 85. They're all 85 until we get to the bottom. The bottom ones are 81 for each plot. And this is a survival mode map. You have some sell points. We've got a few bits we're going to go around and have a look at. Apologies if I missed something. Jim's maps, he packs them full of loads of great little features and details and things. I hope I haven't missed anything, but we'll see as we go around. So that's what you pay for the plots. On New Farmer, we start with this one just here. Like I say, there's no contracts because there are no fields. You have to put your own fields in yourself as we go along, which is absolutely wonderful. There are some mods which we'll have a look at. Actually, you know what, we'll go and have a look at those just now. If we go into our build mode, under sheds, we have got a couple that Jim's put in under sheds. I don't think we've got any others under build modes or productions or anything like that. Under decoration, we do have under other quite a few. If we go across to, where are we? Where do we start? Just there. So we've got a fire lookout tower. There's an abandoned barn, abandoned shelter. There's lots of abandoned buildings, and the premise being that the map's it's abandoned. It's a wild area. You're going to go out, and I like the idea, and I like the possibility of being able to take those abandoned buildings and as part of a storyline, a narrative, whatever you want to do, you gradually earn the money to either repair them, replace them, that kind of thing. It's very, very cool. There's a manure system, abandoned silo, there's a whole load of stuff put in here under decoration, wooden bridges and things like that. Now on the map as well, if we come back out of there, we go back to our map, you might see here we've got these little blue dots. The blue dots there are signposts. If you remember on No Man's Land, there was one for removing trees, one for removing rocks. This map is no different. So if you don't want to do any forestry and you want to open up completely and you don't want the rocks in the way, you can remove them. There's a few things we're going to be able to cut down, which we will look at and talk about momentarily. So starting off, we've got our animal dealer sell point just here, and we've got our livestock market animal dealer for buying, selling just there. That sound, as we go around the map, there's various different sounds and locations. We've got telegraph poles and electricity pylons, however you want to refer to them. If we go over to here, this one says, cutting this signpost with a chainsaw will permanently remove all power lines from the map. We have also got over here this little exclamation mark. If I press circle, so if the sound of the power lines, if you're not going to cut them down but you want to leave them, but the sound frustrates you or annoys you, you can turn it on or off, which is great. There's a few more like that as we go around the map. Our machinery store buy point is just here. Come around the side here. We've got our wardrobe, so if you want to get changed, you can get changed just there. I'm going to grab the pickup. Now, most of the sell points, apart from sawmills, I think are pretty much up here. We've got a couple of production chains that Jim's put in himself, but they're not under production chains to buy. The other thing is some of the ones that are on here already are incredibly cheap, which is brilliant. We've got a fuel point just here, and our workshop trigger for the machinery store is just there. This is the reset point, so if you need to reset anything, it will reset here up at the machinery store. we have got the farmer's market point here. Now this is a buy point and a sell point, so we can buy products here and sell them. You see, you've got both logos there for putting in and taking out, so we can use it as a sell point. We can also buy products from there. If we move a bit further along, we have got farmers market products, so for production chains, pallets and things like that, we put them in there. Then we've got farmers market wool, so the wool sell point is just there. A bit further along we've got the sawmill sell point. Now this is what I think is great. The sawmill up here to buy, it's only 20 grand. That's amazing. So we've got the sawmill up here, you can just use it as a sell point, sell your wood, earn your money. But if you want it as a production chain, 20 grand buys you the sawmill up the top here. And as we come back round from here, we've got farmers market milk, so milk sell point. And across here we've got a couple of buy points. We've got seed, fertilizer, and there's a water point just over here. So a lot of stuff up the top end just here, and the post we just looked at. We're just going to head down there, then we're going to head out to, so on new farmer we start with machinery and we start with a sleep trigger, which we don't on the other two. When we get out to there, we'll talk about slot count, which isn't particularly high anyway. Jim's an absolute master at doing this. I'm really liking, like I say, there was nothing wrong with No Man's Land. No Man's Land was a brilliant map with that scope for doing whatever you wanted to do. I think it's amazing. But Jim's added just a few more little bells and whistles on this one, which I think makes so much of a difference. And I'm already thinking about how I could tackle this, what I might want to do with this. As we head south a little bit to this little junction, we've got a couple of more signposts here. So the left-hand one, cutting this one with the chainsaw will remove all trees from the map. Cutting this one will remove all rocks from the map. If you do that, it will look a little bit like this. So, quick look over the top as well, and out that way. I also had removed power lines as well. I removed that post up there. So those two pictures were trees, rocks, and power lines. I think there's another one a bit further down that does a little central area, which we're going to have a look at. So from here, we're going to whiz out to the farm area you start with on New Farmer. It's not a huge amount of equipment and machinery. I think for me, if I am seriously considering, I had already in my head decided I was going to do a particular map when it came out, but I think I might do this one instead. Now the challenge for me, and if you know me, is going to be, I'm a contract hound, a contract fiend. There are no contracts on this map, so I won't be able to do any contract work whatsoever. That is going to be a huge challenge for me. So a couple of the buildings and sheds that Jim had put in, and the start equipment, we've got a style tractor, we've got a cultivator and a plough, we've got a trailer, we've got a seeder, we've got a fertiliser spreader, harvester and header, we've got our sleep trigger just here, and we'll talk about slot count. So on New Farmer the slot count is 969 because you start with these few bits including the pickup truck. If you come onto here on Farm Manager or start from scratch, the slot count is 850, and you don't start with any of these bits, and you also don't start with this plot, which is the one I showed you at the start, that we start with, plot 3. But obviously you do start with a bit more money on Farm Manager, and the start from scratch is going to be more of a challenge. So I'm trying to work out if I came into the full survival mode, because there are no contracts available, you would have to have some start equipment. Something, even if you started off with a bit of ground and did some forestry, you would have to have, even if it's just a pickup and a chainsaw. Maybe. Do you reckon that's it? Pick up and a chainsaw to start, and then just see where you can go with it. Actually, while we're here, so a couple of things I want to talk about. I don't know if you can see here, there's a change. There's a kind of a boundary in the grass. While we're here, we'll talk about we've talked about decorative objects. Let's go along and look at landscaping. As far as I can tell, trees and plants are pretty much the same, but painting is where things get a bit different. If we go along to our painting textures, see how many painting textures Jim's put in? But more importantly is this one here on the left, ploughed state. So because we own this plot, we might get away with it. Now, if you buy a plot of land, you can buy a plough, allow create fields, and you can plough out whatever shape, size field you want to do. If you don't even want to do that, if you really don't want to do that, we can. Oh, do we have to paint first? That is painting though, isn't it? Now that's interesting. So that's giving us painting for ploughing. Do we still have to plough over that then? I'm surprised by that. I wonder. Let's try a flat texture first. This is my first time trying that, because I haven't really come across it before. Let's go with dirt. And then do the ploughed. Oh, there we go. So you might have to do one texture first, then the other. Okay, that's interesting. But, so you can put down ploughed states, and you can have ploughed fields ready to go if you don't want to plough them out yourself. For me, it's all about... I enjoy that process of creating your own field. Anyway, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. But beware, because it does say if you do that... Where are we? If you use this option to create fields, you will lose the ability to produce stones in those fields. So if you plough it out yourself and you've got field stones turned on, you'll get stones. If you use this texture instead, and then subsequently you plough out afterwards, you won't get any more stones on that because you've used the texture, which I think eradicates the stone mesh, is it, or the stone layer that comes with it. So anyway, so you've got a ploughed state. That's something extra, something a bit different. Haven't come across before on any of the mod maps. Now, there are also gold nuggets. There are 20 gold nuggets on this map to collect. I'm going to grab one. That ploughed texture took a big chunk of money, actually. But, again, I suppose it's that if you don't want to do it yourself, you don't have to. I'm going to whiz back up to here, because I've just suddenly remembered. I was going to show you and then forgot. So there are 20 gold nuggets to collect. As far as I can tell, the one I've collected costs 50 grand. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know where any of them are, look away now. There'll be another spoiler alert later on if you don't want to find them. Or don't want to find them. You want to find them, but you want to search them yourself. Look up the top here, and up here, got a gold nugget. If I collect L3, 50 grand for the gold nugget. Lovely. Now those are separate to the gold production, which is on the map as well. There is the ability to create gold. So, back out again from here. We do have fire lookout towers, which is just here now. The fire lookout towers are a little bit like the teleporting pads that Jim had put in as a mod. They're down as like sleep triggers, but they are teleport points for all intents and purposes. So if I click on one of those, I'll click on one and go to it now. We jump to it. You can jump straight to the tower if you want to. You don't have to, but they're on the map as well. So we'll go to that one. We'll jump back again. There we go. So we've got fire lookout towers, which are pretty cool. So back down to the pickup. Bear with me. Excellent. So, and it's got little placeable areas as well. Now, most of the map, as far as I can tell, is flat. There's not much in the way of undulations. But as we head south, in the centre of the map, we have got the old abandoned farm. So all the decorative stuff I was talking about. We've got this old abandoned farm down here. And again, I like the concept, that idea of buying the plot of land and it's all run down and abandoned, and you can gradually build up and replace, repair, that kind of thing. We do have more posts here. So this area, as far as I can tell, is separate from the other one. When I removed the trees and looked over this way, there were still trees here. They've removed this post, it removes the trees from this particular area. The loose scrap, so odds and ends are around, and this one will take the power lines away from this area as well. But as we go into here, you'll see the detail on it is amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. So we've got this central area. Now, to remove any of the posts, I probably should have said that earlier if I haven't already. I can't remember if I have. To remove the posts, you need to own the land. You can't just come up with a chainsaw and remove the posts. You have to own the land first to be able to remove them. So whatever item it is you're looking at taking out, whether it be power lines, trees, or anything like that, you need to have to own the land first. Now, as we come into here, we'll drive around quickly because I want to show you some of the other bits. Again, it's that I love. The idea is brilliant. So we've got the barn over there. We've got another building or shelter there, which again it just needs TLC and repair. You can go through that cycle, that narrative of gradually removing the scrap, and you can take that out. But as we move along, we've got animal pens that are run down. So again, you can take those out and replace them with new animal pens. You know, they're rusted and run down and need work. Fences removed. It's fantastic, it really is. But again, you need to own the land. Once you own the land, you can remove them and then replace them. But the manure heap in the corner here actually has manure in it as well. I'm not sure if the slurry tank does. So if you buy the plot, there is some manure to be working with to start off with. If you want to do a bit of manure work, there is some here already. And again, you've got this, you know, old boarded up. You've got the chicken pen there as well. Look, it's brilliant. It's so cleverly done and thought out ahead, you know. But if you don't want to use this plot at all, you absolutely don't have to. So I guess there are probably some slots taken up with those. If you bought this plot of land and removed all of those placeables that Jim's put down, you could reduce your slot count even further than 850. But let's be honest, 850 on a map like that with the slots we've got available, it is more than playable. We are now heading east from this central section. You can see how wide open it is. Lighting seems absolutely spot on. Colour palette, absolutely spot on. There's just enough, not too much. It's lovely. So we've got another power line one here. This is for turning the sound on and off. So all those sounds, this one here, turn on or off. What's great as well is this one here. You've got the excess burn off. Fantastic, the additive, just absolutely brilliant. But if you don't like that, it's annoying. You can turn that off as well. But just be aware the pressure will build up and you could have a massive methane explosion. We've got a biomethane buy point just there, or collection point, that's when you've got it. Oh, that's our thing. While we're here talking about that and the biogas plant, there are put in by Jim under vehicles. If we go to tools and we go down to miscellaneous, across there we have got the MKU 32 and the Joskin Biogas 8000. So that one will take all of your liquids and methane. That one will do methane and water. So you can get your methane from here once it's been produced, and you can use it for something, which we'll have a look at in a second as well. The biogas plant also here, really cheap. Click on this. Biogas plant's 25 grand for a 1 megawatt. It does make life a little bit easier without contract work available, and if you are going to be doing a survival mode, if you put the biogas plant at 1.5 million, it puts it so far out of reach. So I like the fact Jim's done that, made it more accessible. Things like this as well. But look what's in there. It's like the ultimate crystal maze challenge, isn't it? Love that. So that's the biogas plant. The other thing I'm really liking as well as we go around is how the edges, it doesn't look like an edge, it looks like it carries on. You've got roadways around it and that kind of thing. We do have a water point just here, and we do have a large silage clamp just there. As we go through here, we have got 2 production chains that Jim's put in. Now these are on the map. They're not, if we go into build mode and go to production, if we scroll across, I don't think they're in here. Pretty sure they're not. No. So they're on the map but not in here to put in elsewhere. We've got gold production and we have got lime production. Now one of the reasons why I wanted to grab that other nugget further up was so we could have a quick look. So we've got a gold production just here. If we click on this, the gold production is only 30 grand. Let's buy that. And if we click onto here and we go to our production chains, you will see if you want to do gold production, the recipe is 1000 stone, 138 water and 138 methane. So you need to be producing the methane, which you can collect using the methane trailers we've just looked at. Stones, water and methane in, gold out. And then you can go and take your gold and you can sell it. You can make a nice tidy bit of money. So there is gold. And then next to that we've got lime production, which also is not too expensive. 20 grand for the lime production. Only buying it so I can show you that in production chains. So lime is 1000 rock, 220 water, gives you 750 lime out, and you do start already. I don't know if you just saw there were 6 litres of gold. Yep. We do start with 10,000 litres of lime. So if you buy the lime processing plant, you do start with 10,000 litres of lime already available, which makes life jolly handy. I'm just looking down actually to my right to see if it talks about precision farming. It doesn't mention it. So I don't know whether it's like it was in FS19, whether it will default back to a standard production chains map if you're going to do that. But anyway, so that's gold production and lime production here out to the east. I'm going to drive back into the centre now to where the that abandoned farm was. Let's just go to the map and I'll show you where we're going to go. So we went from here, we've done all these bits up here, we came all the way down, looked around the abandoned farm, 3 posts there for cutting down things there, we came all the way out to there, we've done the biogas plant and bits there, down to the gold production and the lime production. We're going to head back along that road, then take this first turning down, and we're going to head south, all the way out to the bottom there. There is another lookout tower there as well. So it does help you to move around the map quite quickly if you want to. If you want to jump around, as House of Pain said quite eloquently. So I will see you down towards south in a moment. Crossing the river using one of the bridges. I'm also thinking as well, with a lot of the different modded bridges that are available, about putting in extra bridge sections along the span of the river. The river bifurcates the map north-south. But if we head down to the south, we've got the Sawmill South. Now the Sawmill South is not a production chain, it's just a sell point, which we're going to get to. But if you look out, you can see all these different buildings that are off the edge of the map. But it alludes to the fact the map goes on much further. Another point there for power lines for turning the sound on and off. So we've got Sawmill South, just there, sell point. And then we've got a lumber point just there. Just going to check on here. Let's go down till we get to one that pops up, says Sawmill South. There you go, Sawmill South. So wood chip sell point at Sawmill South. That's over there. And we've got lumber point just here. If we cut through, it's all the things like the smoke on the buildings, all these little details that Jim adds in, just adds so much. So we go through here and we've got this fuel station which is on the main highway, and we kind of get to come into it from the back end. So we can buy fuel from here. So if you want to transport fuel to points, you can come and buy it from here. But this is another detail. It's a little thing, but I love this. Look, press circle. Got the ladder. Onto the roof. And there's another ladder here. Now again, spoiler alert, I'm not going to tell you where it is, but you can use that ladder to go and collect something. But this, it could have just been a normal ladder. It could have just been a ladder leant up against the wall. But that little animation just thrown in there. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. And again, look, buildings across the way, highway here. It makes it feel more alive. It makes it feel like a bit like No Man's Land had to the south, didn't it? Yeah, to the south of the map, where you start out, and there's that road that kind of runs behind. I just feel this one. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It just seems to work better. It just makes that feeling of it being part of something much larger, more tangible, more real, I guess. No shortage of forestry. Like I said, you can remove all the trees if you want to, but I'm already thinking to get started, your main source of income on here, if you've got no contracts, is going to be forestry to start off with. Without any shadow of a doubt, you're going to have to do some forestry. Unless you decide you're going to set your map up differently and have some fields you put in yourself or whatever you want to do. But I'm also thinking, looking forward of starting with a farm, but then gradually building up a town. And then having production chains put in. I know people did it on No Man's Land and FS19, but I know, I think the scope is much larger now, with so many different production chains available now in the mod hub and so many different things we can do. It gives it a much broader reach, I think. Anyway, we're heading out to the west now. There's a railway line that runs out to the west here. There's a couple of little features. One that actually wasn't showing on the map, I'm just thinking actually. But I will show you it, because that's what I'm here to do. We do have another point there for turning off the sound for the power lines just there. If we come across here, I know Jim put up a couple of short videos of a couple of things he'd been working on. So we've got a lumber sell point just here. If we go onto the map, pretty sure. So we have gone up there, across here. We're here. So it's not actually showing there as being a lumber point, but that is a sell point. Lumber there, click on that, we can sell it. The fire here, crackle it away, press circle. You can turn the fire off. I know you put the fire out. You can put the fire out and put it on. There's loads of different options. And we've got the train yard sell point. And the train yard sell point is showing up as just train yards, but there are various different points of selling different things here. So you actually sell into the train carriages, which again I think is fantastic. And I love the fact the train's sitting there, the engine's running on the train. And you can see the sell points just above. And then to the right, on New Farmer, you do start with a conveyor, an auger, just to the right, which you can use. So you've got crop types and various different things along there. Then you've got production chains along here. So for your pallets and stuff to be sold, the sell point's up there. And on New Farmer, you do start with the forklift truck just here. And we do have a methane point, electric charge point, because the forklift truck's electric, just next to it. Now, next spoiler alert, if you don't want to know where nuggets are, there is the gold hut, and it does say under the details. If you want to look for the gold and you want some clues, you can go to the gold hut. We're going to the gold hut just here and look to the right. This is fantastic as well, so clever. Top left it says gold nuggets last reported sightings. Last count there were 20 to find. So all the red pins are where there are nuggets, or the last sightings of nuggets were to be found. And once you've found them, it says red pins not found, green pins collected. So once you've collected them, as you can see that one top up the top that I collected, that's gone green. So once you've collected them, they go green on here. So you can come back to here and you can check it. Or you can take a screenshot of it to see where they are and then come back and check on it. Another brilliant feature. Just a clever little thing. There is one. I'm not going to tell you. You can look at the map. You can work out. It's all good. Now, there is also a train that runs along, and it's got a lot of carriages on it. It's another one. It's a little feature. You can't load onto it. You can't do anything with it necessarily. But it's cool that it runs alongside here. Just open up this menu here. It does say there, turn traffic off or on. Train traffic, and the train runs through the yards. It's got loads of carriages. Again, just adds a little bit more as you're over here and it comes rumbling through, and it kind of seems to just go on and on and on. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm not sure if it's going to do it now because I've just switched it on and off again. Maybe, maybe not. Now, look at the map. We've been around. We've done north, we've done central, we've gone out to the east, south, and we're now at the west. That's all the sell points. That's all the points of interest, if you want to call it that. I'm just looking down my list. Hopefully I haven't missed anything just yet. No. One last point we're going to go and have a look at, and it's the river. Now, I'm saying this because this is a warning. If we stop just here, there's another one of those blue dots on the map just to the side here, and it says cutting this signpost with the chainsaw will permanently remove the water stream from this map. Now when it says water stream, it means the water itself. The water course, the ditch, will still be here, but I would imagine with a bit of landscaping you can probably raise that up and go across it, or whatever you want to do. But if you want to remove the water, you need to own the land first, cut that post, and it will remove all the water from here and leave you with just the ditch. And as far as I'm aware, looking now, that's everything. I'm looking to my right, and like I say, I'm hoping I haven't missed anything significant. I think I've covered, yeah, covered the textures, covered the cuttable posts, a few things that were available under build mode, sell points, buy points, all that kind of stuff. We'll cross the river. I'm going to head up this. I'm just curious to see whether the train's going to come down the side as we head up north across the open ground. Again, with the car and a highway run up the side there, just feels more alive. And that's it. That's Western Wilds, full of possibilities. I honestly think, and I know a lot of productions, the factory stuff that came out on FS19. I think Jim was so far ahead of the game on FS19. I truly believe this. When he brought out No Man's Land, yes, you could put placeables down. Yes, you could do landscaping, but I really believe that this iteration now of this map, with production chains and all the stuff you can do, including landscaping and stuff, this is it. This you can do so much more with. You could do a ton with No Man's Land, and a load of people did. And I think Jim, like I say, he'd already had this vision, this idea of what could be done. And with all the stuff that's come on FS22, that vision has become more of a reality, I think. But it's just brilliant. Yeah, such a clever idea. Great map, loads of detail, loads of functionality. If it's anything like it was on FS19 with No Man's Land, I would imagine, I'm not saying that he is, or definitely will be, Jim will add various different packs and various different things will get added if this gets updates at any point. I know he did it on FS19 with more placeables and decorative objects and things like that. We may get more of that. I know he's already released some packs for FS22. But that's it. That's the Western Wilds. Sorry for the delay. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.